So that's a little taste of what this was. It changed, it evolved or devolved, depending upon your perspective of all this, but ended up in a criminal case. And with all the publicity here in this particular YouTube channel and this defendant and what happened to these children, Utah ends up with a new law that has been signed and passed. I want you to take a look at a little bit of it. This is a Utah bill called Child Actor Regulations, requires that a parent or guardian establish a trust for a minor involved in entertainment. This is entertainment. Establishes a formula for a content creator to calculate the percentage of any earnings from social media that feature a minor and to transfer the earnings to the minor's trust. Grants an individual featured in social media content as a minor a right of deletion. Requires that a social media company maintain a readily available process by which an individual featured in social media content as a minor may request that a content creator delete content featuring the individual featured in social media content as a minor. And this had, support of other members of Ruby Franke's family. And that brings us to the first question in our investigation. And it begins about this law. Will this law protect children? Does it go far enough? Will momfluencers and family vloggers, because it could be dad also, will they abide by these rules, and does it do enough? Let's bring in some experts. Joining us, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert, witness, author, and columnist, Dr. Carol Lieberman. Great to have you both here. This is something. Dr. Carol Lieberman, that's a flavor of when things got a little more intense with Ruby Franke. What are your thoughts about this law? Will it protect children?
Well, it's a very fine line because on the one hand, we don't want the law, the government, to get too much into the lives of families. I mean, too restrictive. On the other hand, it is a step in the right direction. But if you think about it with Ruby, like if this law was in effect before she got caught, before she did what she did, I don't think it was just the money that was a concern for her. I think it was more about the fame, and I think it was also a way to get back at her parents for the way that they parented her. So there are other things that really don't, that wouldn't be curtailed because of this law. Now, I think it's great, of course, the idea of putting money aside for the children. I think that that's definitely proper. They're, and especially also for child actors as well, not just on the internet. But as far as really dissuading people from becoming momfluencers or vloggers, I don't really think it's going to do much with that.
By the way, all those vloggers from Utah, which apparently is the hub, and that brings me to the next question in our investigation, because all of that looked pretty positive to a certain extent. Is there an upside to family vlogging, right? Can't be all bad, can it? Still with us, our guests, Lauren Cabello, former mommy influencer, and Dr. Carol Lieberman. Dr. Lieberman, when I think of this, I'm like, what could the upside be? More family time together, right? More doing things together, spending quality time together. The camera's rolling, but at least we're together. These children are not being abandoned. What do you see? Is there an upside from your perspective?
Well, but you could be doing lots of things with your kids other than filming them all the time, and having family time. I think only in very specific kinds of cases would there be a good enough rationale. For example, if you felt strongly about something, about how to raise your kids in a certain way, that the best way or the healthiest way is doing such and such, like if you felt religion was really important and you showed your children going to church and how they were afterwards. Or if you had a child who was autistic or a child who had some other disability, and you wanted to show how you could make that a positive thing, and how they've been really coming along, and how, what a wonderful member of the family they are, and how you can deal with these kinds of issues. Something really strong. Or if you felt like some kind of sport was particularly good to make a family, to make kids strong, and to make a family have togetherness, like horseback riding, for example, and you showed all your kids riding horses. If there was some method to the madness, other than making sort of fools of themselves, because we're all voyeurs. We like to see what's going on in people's homes, but just like with reality TV, we like the bloopers. We like when people mess up, and that's really not something great to put your kids. Give them that opportunity.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, I'll give you the last word. We have about 30 seconds here.
Toll. Okay, you get all these great free things and trips and so on, but there is a toll. There's no free lunch, really. The kids don't know when they're saying it at their young ages how this is going to be affecting them later, and what they are giving up for this. So I think, great, everybody loves money, but I think you have to look at where the toll is, where you paid for it in other places.
Well,
I agree.
This was great insight. Dr. Carol Lieberman, thank you both for joining us. Great to see you.